It's data engineers map. Get ready for technology. It will be PySpark interview questions part 2. First question will be, what are the main characteristics of PySpark? Following are the main characteristics of PySpark. Nodes are abstracted. The nodes are abstracted in PySpark. It means we cannot access the individual worker nodes. PySpark is based on MapReduce. PySpark is based on MapReduce model of Hadoop. It means that the programmer provides the map and the reduced function. API for Spark features. PySpark provides API for utilization Spark features. Abstracted network. PySpark provides abstracted networks. It means that the networks are abstracted in PySpark and it facilitates only implicit communication. What is the RDD in PySpark? In PySpark, RDD is an acronym that stands for Resilient Distributed Datasets. It is a core data structure of PySpark. It is a low-level subject object that is highly efficient in performing distributed tasks. The PySpark's RDDs are the elements that can run and operate on multiple nodes to do parallel processing on a cluster. There are immutable elements. It means that if you once created an RDD, you cannot change it. RDDs are also fault tolerant. In the case of any failure, they recover automatically. We can apply multiple operations on RDDs to achieve a certain task. What are the key advantages and disadvantages of PySpark? Advantages of PySpark. PySpark is an easy to learn language. You can learn and implement it easily if you know Python and Apache Spark. PySpark is simple to use. It provides parallelized codes that are simple to write. Error handling is simple in the PySpark framework. You can easily handle errors and manage synchronization points. Disadvantages of PySpark. PySpark is based on Hadoop's map-reduced model, so sometimes it becomes challenging to manage and express problems using the map-reduced model. Since Apache Spark was originally written in Scala while using PySpark in Python program, they are not as efficient as other programming model. It is approximate 10 times slower than the Scala program. Due to this reason, it negatively impacts the performance of heavy data applications processing. The Spark streaming API in PySpark, it is not as efficient as a Scala. It still requires improvements. What are the prerequisites to PySpark? PySpark is easy to learn and implement. It doesn't require the expertise of many programming language or datasets. You can learn it easily if you know a programming language and a framework. Before learning the concept of PySpark, you should learn some knowledge of Apache Spark and Python. It will be very helpful to learn an advanced concept of PySpark. Why are partition immutable in PySpark? In PySpark, every transformation generates a new partition. Partition uses HDFS API to make partition immutable, distributed and fault tolerant. Partitions are also aware of data locality. Examples of transformation are map, filter, and group by. What do you understand by PySpark SparkContext? SparkContext act as the entry point into a Spark functionality. When this Spark application runs, it starts the driver program and the main function and Spark context get initiated. After that, the driver program runs the operations inside the executors on worker nodes. In PySpark, Spark context is known as PySpark SparkContext. It uses py4j library to launch a JVM and then creates a Java Spark context. The PySpark Spark context is by default available as SC. So it doesn't mean creating a new Spark context. What is the usage of PySpark storage level? The PySpark storage level is used to control the storage of RDD. It controls how and where the RDD is stored. PySpark storage level decides if the RDD is stored on the memory, over the disk, or both. It also specifies whether we need to replicate the RDD partitions or serialize the RDD. What do you understand by data cleaning? Data cleaning is the process of preparing data by analyzing the data and removing or modifying data if it is incorrect, incomplete, irrelevant, duplicate, or improperly formatted. What is PySpark SparkConfig? PySpark SparkConfig is mainly used if we have to set a few configuration and parameters to run a Spark application on the local cluster. In other words, we can say that PySpark SparkConf is used to provide configuration to run a Spark application. What are the different types of algorithms supported in PySpark? Different types of algorithms supported in PySpark are spark.mllib, mllib.regression, mllib.recommendation, mllib.clustering, mllib.classification, mllib.linkalg, mllib.fpm.